Let's record this first.
I have a bit of a hot take on it. Now, this is not me standing up here and saying, oh, Jaguar did everything right. They've done a whole bunch of cool things and their new car looks fantastic and you should love it. But it is a little bit of a different angle.
Yo, y'all comment down below. Hold on. That's his name, right? Yup, sure is. And he only got 82 videos. Damn. I done drop 100 videos and my page ain't doing this. I need to switch my shit up. This motherfucker got just 82 videos. Nah, bro, this is not his main page. It can't be. I about to say, this is his main page. Marquez Brownlee. Alright, this is his main page. That nigga been dropping hella videos. That nigga always been smart as shit. And this is the thing, nobody will see these videos and know that this nigga, this was 15 years ago, bro. And nigga been grinding. You gotta respect the hustle, bro. How did he even know how to do this 15 years ago? I only been in America 12 years. In April, it's gonna be 13 years. I didn't know shit about this 13 years ago. How old is this nigga now, y'all? Shout out to Marquez, boy. You been putting that work in. I wish I would have had somebody put me on this YouTube game, boy. That's crazy. But anyways, this is the video right here. Obviously, she gonna go up 82 videos in, shit.
Angle, maybe a little bit of different food for thought. Just on the lens I'm looking.
Y'all, please respect his quality. This nigga got good quality camera. All that shit.
Yeah, Jaguars. Basically, this is the angle. Electrification, this whole movement we've been going through with so many car companies, has given
Yo, that was hard.
Jaguar's new thing through that maybe you haven't heard yet. So basically, this is the angle. Electrification.
That shit like a robot, boy. That shit like a motherfucking robot.
This whole movement we've been going through with so many car companies has given a lot of these
that's tough, bro.
companies a unique opportunity to also rebrand themselves. And the ones that need it the most.
That's what, hey, look, I think that's what everybody is doing. Like, everybody's going through a phase of rebranding. You feel what I'm saying? Even me, myself, I'm going through a phase of rebranding myself and just trying to, like, put myself back out there to the internet and just come a little harder. Pause. But it's like, when you get to a point where you've been doing something for a long time, you have to know how to rebrand and recreate yourself. It's kind of like a phoenix, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to rebrand yourself to have a better product or a better marketing scheme, just to, you know what I mean? So that's what's up. I ain't gonna lie, Jaguar.
Most.
If y'all want me to review y'all cars, y'all definitely can send me some shit. I definitely review that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Just send it to me.
Doing the best job of it, and Jaguar needs this more than ever. They need it bad. So like, look at Hyundai, for example, right? What did you think of Hyundai a couple of years ago when you
Honda? Anytime I saw a Hyundai, the first thing that came to my mind was Honda. You want to be Honda, but you're not Honda.
see a Hyundai car on the road, or you'd consider buying a car and you'd see that there's a Hyundai dealership, you'd think, oh yeah, those are the pretty reliable, budget-friendly cars. I've seen them. Seems like there's a lot of them. Pretty good. Nothing too special. Oh. When you see Hyundai, you see a lot of Ioniq 5s, Ioniq 5N, a crazy sporty like cult favorite a little bit. You see Ioniq 6s all over the place, and they've transformed the Hyundai image actually into a little bit more of like a tech forward.
Nah, guys, I'm not gonna lie now. Y'all can't act like this shit not looking like something. Y'all can't act like. Hold on, y'all. Hello. But nah, my bad, y'all. Y'all can't act like this shit not looking like something. So you mean to tell me y'all won't cop this? This shit look nice, low key. Now I ain't gonna lie, looking like a damn Porsche.
A little bit more
or
design
Porsche.
forward
Or
brand.
Porsche.
The Ioniq 5. Speaking of, I didn't plan that at all. That was actually perfect timing. But the Ioniq 5 looks nothing like.
Oh no.
You know, the sort of classic cars. They've got this sick light design. I could not have planned that better, but now it's
Yo, he got a
sick
good
light
ass
design.
camera.
I could not have planned
Y'all
that
see how
better.
he just zoomed out of that shit?
Speaking of, I didn't plan that at all. That was actually perfect timing. But the Ioniq 5 looks nothing like, you know, the
He
sort of
real
classic
life
cars. They've got this
zoomed in on that
sick
shit for
light
real.
design. I could not have planned that better, but now I see that and I think a little bit differently about Hyundai in general. So that was a successful rebrand, and there was a moment during that where they had these conversations about whether they should keep.
Sorry, y'all.
What
Let's
is
finish
what is
this.
all? What is going on? I'm gonna try not to get distracted here. But Kia, same thing, right? So before this new logo, this new Kia, before any of the electrification, again, nothing wrong with being the sort of steady, reliable, ho-hum, I might get a Kia. The Kia Soul. What did you think of Kias when the Kia Soul was super popular? But now there's the EV6. I see a lot of those EV6 GTs occasionally. The EV9 is also a totally new thing. It's had the success for them in this big 3-row electrification. And now I think of Kia, again, as pretty tech forward, as being kind of ahead of the curve a little bit on making a lot of these things.
Nah, I'll be honest, Kias have been looking real nice recent years. You know what I'm saying? I can't even lie. Like, Kia's been definitely doing their thing for sure.
So, Kia has enjoyed a successful rebrand, plus a new logo on top of it. And
Yup, that's not a lie. That's a fact. That's true. Cause the Kia that I grew up knowing ain't the Kia that I know right now. Okay, so it's always good to rebrand yourself and reproduce a new version of your brand or whatever you're trying to sell or market to the people out there. You gotta know how to rebrand yourself.
I think that's, well, it's what Jaguar really wants. Now, historians can tell a much more detailed version
Hold up. Oh, that's a Jaguar.
of Jaguar's history than I can. But the fact is, the typical Jaguar customer is a 60-plus-year-old man, has been for a really long time, and they sell like 100,000 cars per year or less. They're sort of competing against the Porsches and Mercedes and other luxury brands of the world, and not really turning over and converting any of those people. And the funny thing about Jaguar is they actually kind of were ahead of the curve on electrification. I remember when there was just a whole bunch of Teslas coming out and we were looking to see who else is going to step up from the legacy manufacturers and make an EV. And Jaguar did. They made the I-Pace. You might not remember the I-Pace because it was.
I sure don't. I'm not even that tapped into Jaguar to know what an I-Pace is. Maybe I'm just slow. I don't know.
Wasn't that great, and you don't really see too many of them on the road. In fact, most I-Paces on the road now are Waymos, and that's why they have so much market share.
Oh, so them self-driving cars come from Jaguar? I still won't trust nothing that's driving itself, bro. I'm just different like that. Like, that shit. I feel like, bro, if I was to see a car that's driving this, I've not seen one in person yet. I thought I saw one the other day, but it wasn't. Somebody was in there. But if I was to see one of these motherfuckers right here, that shit'll tweak me the fuck out. Cause look, I'm in the IT field, right? I do cyber engineering, right? If somebody is successful to hack this shit, you're fucked, bro. Literally. You're gonna have to jump out of that moving car. That's the thing, bro. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to knock nobody business. I understand why it's a self-driving car, because think about the elderly people that not supposed to be driving, or the young people that are not supposed to be driving, this car can literally take you anywhere. And it's like, God, it's like, where have we come to? Like, is it a good or bad thing? Me, because I'm old school, I just can't give no technology, no machine that much power over me. Bitch, I'm driving. And if somebody else is gonna drive, at least hold them accountable. But this shit, if something happened, who you gonna hold accountable? The car. Well, how did the car was the one that was driving? The car was what? Who was driving? The car. I don't know, man. I don't know.
But Jaguar kind of did jump in early, trying to be tech forward first, but it didn't really hook. It didn't work. So if you work for Jaguar, and I'm not saying they did this perfectly, but if you work for Jaguar, especially in their PR department or their sales department, and you've been spinning your wheels and trying to figure out how do we convert these Bentley buyers? How do we convert these Mercedes buyers? They're not taking the bait. They're not buying our cars. How do you really flip things on its head and actually take advantage of this electrification thing that's going on where everyone's having so much success? I'm not going to say the Model 00 is that answer, but it's an attempt at take advantage of this electrification thing that's going on where everyone's having so much success. I'm not going to...
It's like a RoboCop is in that motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? First of all, why is this shit so long? But it's given maybe the big ass battery. If this is electric, the big ass battery is gonna be here or something. I don't know. All the tech stuff gonna be it, but I don't know, bro. This a futuristic car for sure though. Just imagine this driving down the street with all the lights. I know y'all watch not Hunger Games, Altered Carbon. Y'all go watch that movie. You will see some shit like this in there.
I say the Model 00 is that answer, but it's an attempt at totally changing everything. Now, we should be very clear. The Model 00 is a concept car, right? So they've done this whole rebrand thing. You can think what you want about the commercial, but then they've actually unveiled this concept car now. And the actual car will probably not look exactly like this. Like, there's no side view mirrors. There's no door handles. It has these crazy doors that go up and to the side. And then inside, there's a ton of moving displays. You know, there's no blinker stalks. There's plenty of ultra-futuristic materials and modern lighting, all the concept car classics. But, you know, we at least assume that a lot of these design elements will carry over into a four-door GT EV shipping sometime in the next few years from Jaguar. Maybe it still has a kind of a longish looking hood. Maybe it still has a lot of those horizontal slats on the front and the back, the horizontal lights. You know, a lot of car companies do fun new things with light bars now. We could expect to see a lot of that stuff. The only real specs that we've seen is that they say they're aiming for an EPA rated range of 430 miles and also around 1,000 horsepower, which sounds crazy, but that's a thing you can do with EVs now. So again, like former Jaguar, they're going to be targeting poor.
Yo, now that's sick. I ain't gonna lie. I was not expecting the doors to go up. Let's start there. And this seat, that's some fly shit. I ain't gonna lie. Now we just gotta worry about performance. How does it perform?
Porsche, Bentley, and other high-end luxury brands with this new thing. They're still going to be expensive. But when this car finally does come out, let's say it's 2026, 2027, when it does come out, they're going to be hoping that a lot of the things that carry over from this concept car that got a big reaction and had everyone in the world talking about Jaguar for a month, they're going to be hoping that that lands and that actually starts getting traction and spinning the tires. Now here's the thing. A lot of people don't like that design, right? They say it looks kind of crazy. They did show a pink one for some reason, which I think is going to alienate a lot of people. But I honestly think the boardroom meeting when they were designing that stuff was like, leave nothing the same. Not the logo, not the proportions, not any fundamentals. You can change anything and everything. There is no heritage. Nothing is precious. We have no value in old Jaguar anymore. We're a new company now. I honestly think that's the way they're thinking about it. And I kind of wonder, once it lands in person, how people react to seeing one on the street. Kind of reminds me of the Cybertruck a little bit. The Cybertruck, universally one of the most hated vehicles online. If you go on Twitter or YouTube, everyone says,
I don't know if it's the most hated, but it's the most talked about for sure.
It's ugly. Everyone says it looks horrible. Not everyone, but I mean, if you generally sample most people, it's a very negative sentiment towards Cybertruck. But when you see it in person and when you talk to people in person, it's a totally flipped ratio. People are, oh, I've seen those online. My son loves that thing. Oh, what is that? How much does it cost? A lot of curiosity. It bends necks. People actually care about it. And if Jaguar can show up with a vehicle that looks so different that when it drives by, people actually care about it, that by itself I think they would consider a huge win for Jaguar. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's what I'm thinking.
That's a win for Jaguar. That's a win.
Obviously, there's still going to be a whole lot of evolution between now and when Jaguar finally ships that thing, but I am curious to see if it works or not. Let me know in the comments if you think it has a chance at working, because I see these crazy vehicles.
Man, what's his name again? So I don't say his name wrong. Marquez. Marquez, let me tell you something. One thing I understand about this motherfucking world and this country, this life, you can shit on your hand right now with a big ass turd. If you market that shit the right way to certain motherfuckers, they will pay for that shit. So it don't even matter if a company is producing, if anybody is producing, creating, and if somebody there's a need for it out there, like it's a car, people need a car, and you market it the right way, people gonna buy. Just know that.
Vehicles, and I see these other rebrands. I see what happens with Kia and with Hyundai and the success that they've had, and I think Jaguar has a chance to be a player, even though the I-Pace didn't work for them. Let me know your thoughts. But that's just a bit of a different take. A couple new angles and some shots of an in real life Type 00. I hope that's not the name of the car when it comes out. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Shout out to Marquez, man. Bro, you just motivated me. You don't even realize it. But that's the end of the reaction for that. We're gonna save the rest for later on today when I come back on stream.